Welcome, sinners.
What's up, guys? Let's move that out the way. How's everyone doing? Sarah with an H, purple, Karen, iced, Alda. How are y'all? How's everybody doing tonight? Good. We're doing good today, man. Parents stopped by today. Love it when they stop by. Hung out for a little bit. Talked to my brother. Talked to my nephew. It's been a good day. Hung out. What's up, Sonia? How are you? Tired from work, can't hold out too long today, Brett, but wanted to support. Thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate you. Turn this thing off so I can hear my I hear my voice when I talk, so I'm just like gotta readjust. Let's move this back over here so I can stare at the camera. Yeah, and then we'll move this over here so I can adjust sounds and stuff. Yep. Alright, so what we're doing today, we're continuing the fundraiser for Victoria Wilson. We did good yesterday. We got about $200 done. Still got a little bit going on. What's up, that Army Love? That's what I like to see. Good name. Sophia, what up? Wonder what's your time zone, because you always stream for me around 1 or 2 a.m. Well, I stream at midnight because here recently my wife has not been at work. Like, she's been going to work, but when I stream, she's home. Or when I want to stream, she's home. And tomorrow we'll be doing a daytime stream. So if you want to catch that one, you're more than welcome to. Be in the afternoon sometime. So if you're on the East Coast is what it looks like. So I hope you're doing well, though. Sorry it's so late. I know it's late. I apologize. It's just the only time I was able to get on today, because when Cass is home, I spend time with her, we watch TV, or I let her watch her shows. So try not to interrupt, and I can't do stream when that's happening because my mic picks up everything. So it's very inconvenient. So I make do with what I have, and we move forward. There's always time to watch after the fact. The last night's stream was extremely long. Extremely long in terms of a YouTube channel doing a stream when they're based off videos. But it was longer than normal, so. But East Coast getting a day stream. Yeah, you'll be getting a day stream tomorrow. Probably a little more this week too. So, oh, no worries, Sophia. It's a good question. Good question. So, but we are doing the fundraiser for Sophia. She is having I'm guessing brain surgery. I don't want to just like call it brain surgery. She's having surgery to get some intracranial hypertension problems taken care of. They're pushing on her optic nerve, making it to where she's going blind, essentially. And she's got the surgery and everything taken care of, but she's trying to raise money so that her family members can be close to her while the surgery is going on. They have a place to stay, so that's what we're raising money for today. Got a couple channels that are actually helping her out. I wish I knew their names. Hopefully Victoria shows up and we can give them some shout outs. If you guys know of who they are, y'all can help me out. We'll do that way too. So what's up, Nikolai? How are you? We're doing good. But that's what we're doing tonight. I'm going to be reviewing the notes, or at least a little bit of the notes with you guys. We're trying to make this a multi-stream thing to where I read the notes, we kind of break it down together, see what I can figure out. If I have any questions, I'll ask you guys. I do request no spoilers, please. Do not. Unless I ask you first. When I ask you a question, I just need that specific question answered without any extra behind it so that it doesn't ruin it for me. And I'm going to fix my camera real quick because apparently I'm like super like massive here. Let's bring it down. A little too much. There we go. And I'll do about right there. It looks good. Okay. Sorry. It's okay, just wondering. You know, Not a Rapper, so Not a Rapper's one of them. Well, appreciate Not a Rapper. Y'all send him some love, show him some love. If y'all don't know who he is, go check him out. See what he's got going on. I don't react to other reactors just simply because I don't want to ruin anything for myself, but I support anybody who supports the cause and is a fellow army. So we want to do a B-Day roll call. Guys, if you haven't ever announced your B-Day, your birthday in this stream, I would appreciate it if you could. I keep a list of all birthdays, and I try to make announcements on time, but I do make announcements saying happy birthday to each and every one of you on my Twitter. And if you want to do that, if you want to be a part of that, you go ahead and mention your birthday in the chat. I have somebody taking them down. Purple takes down all my information and keep it on a list so I don't forget. So, need to sleep now, but see you in another live video. I'll be on tomorrow during the day, Delphi. Have a good night. So we should, he's a really cool YouTuber. I'll have to check him out, man. Maybe I can check out one of his previous reactions. Something that I've already seen. We'll see what he has to say about it. I just don't want to like risk ruining anything on the theory side of things. So that actually would be really cool. I also don't want to get in trouble with streaming content that isn't mine as well, though. So what's up, Zahida? How are you? I want to say first, thank you to all the people who donated last night. You guys really meant a lot that you guys did that. I've got the link in the description this time, so you guys don't forget it. Or can find it easily. It's a better way to say it. I've got the voice changer up. We will be doing that for donations. I will pop the voice on. We will do voice overs for donations tonight while we're reviewing. And we're just going to kind of hang out, see who comes in. I'm not expecting too many people to come in. Streams don't really get a lot of viewers, which is fine. But this is a way for people to watch and see what's going on. So everyone tell me something a little bit about their day. We're going to kind of get comfortable, get relaxed, kind of get settled in before we start going over this. I've got everything pulled up already and ready to go. So y'all tell me something good, please.
Tell me a story.
Interacted with Crazy Karen today. How did that go? How did that go? She made a whole fuss about not wearing a mask to Target.
Why do I have to wear a mask?
They're forcing masks now, so she lost her mind. I imagine there's a lot of people like that, especially around here. So, 8-shop picnic at the park. Now traveling 60 miles one way to get awesome tacos at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Spoke to some of my family and friends today. Also, I'm supposed to go visit my BF in a few days. Dude, Ice, that's dope. Congrats. Hope you're excited. Hope you're looking forward to it. It's funny because she's almost crashed her car on the way out. It was hilarious. I bet. My brother broke his leg around the 4th and moved back in with me. He's good now. Been taking care of him. Oh, that's awesome. Sonia says, work was really overwhelming today. I work at a daycare and I love kids and have patience for them, but the parents, oh my god, they drive me nuts. I bet. Man, you know, there's a saying I use for people who have kids. Or there's a saying I use for me. It's I love kids. I just don't have them. You know? Or parents to be like, I love kids, but I love my kids more. If you think I don't have it yet, please give me it, please. Birthdays, if I'm pretty sure you got most everybody in here. Karen, Sakita, that Army Love might be the only one who hasn't mentioned their birthday. Let's see. Nikolai, I want to say Nikolai's done it. Sophia, maybe. Sarah with an H has done it. Ice has done it. That's pretty much everybody so far. Delphi's gone. They had to go to sleep. So, every time you think you have baby fever, you look up old videos of raising my nephew. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, my brother has a time with his son. Oh, I love him to death, though, dude. I would take that kid in a heartbeat. Alright. So, I don't know if I would get in trouble for screenshotting this. So, I don't know what to do. Let's see, more than 200 million accounts from this were compromised. I don't need that. I've got my virus protection up. Sophia hasn't. It's October 30th. Hey, it's the day before my anniversary. What's up, Orion? How you doing? I'm an awesome auntie, but I think I'm gonna be too strict as a parent. Well, you're supposed to be, so don't feel bad. Alright, let's see. Okay, hang on. Alright. I just started recording. So if this does get shut down, I will start it back up and I won't show anything. But for now, let me see. Computer screen. Boom. Okay, and then let me move this. Let me move some things around. And I'm in the way. Let me do this. Right. Shrink some things. There. Right. You just move that up. That. Y'all see that? Y'all good? Y'all let me know. Move this over too. Yep, good to go. Alright. I'm talking about. Actually, I'll move. This one will be on this side. Everybody's good. Now I need to make sure that I'm on the right spot. Is this the first entry? I trust the people who put this together, but I need to triple check. Make sure this is right. Are we good? I could probably actually move some things around. Let's see. Let me move myself over here. We'll move this. If I can get to it. Over here. Cool. Works for me. We good? Stream still up and stuff. Of the notes, the book, or all the collected notes on general. Got it on different times, but this is the earliest date. See, I wanted to go in chronological order. This is in chronological order. Like, I know it starts on a different point, but I want to do things on chronological order. Because that's how I'm going to put the project together, right? Is it going to make sense if I read it like this? Does it matter? Because I'll have to find another link. If not. Could take a minute, I don't know. Yes, no.
Someone answer.
The book was chronological order, but there are more notes outside of what you're starting from the earliest point. Most of y'all read it like that? New to this? Okay, so there's a couple of you who haven't done this yet, huh? I forget about that, my bad. Okay, so we're just gonna go. Maybe you guys will know where it's from or what it's pertaining to once we get through it, and we'll see what we get. So I'm gonna do a quick scroll just to see how long this is. It's fairly long. I think we got enough for a good stream. Alright. There we go. It doesn't matter too much, just pay attention to the dates, since when the notes started, we didn't really get them in order. The book was chronological order, but there are more notes outside that. So you're starting from the earliest point. Most of us read it like that. What's up, Keith, dude?
What up, Keith?
Min Kim, what's up? It's been a while, but glad. Heck yeah. Good to see you. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start reading. We'll see how far we get. If the stream shuts down, somebody will let me know, please. I do have my message services up, so you guys can get a hold of me. And let me move some things around. Here we go. And I'm gonna audio tune. Yeah, I got some things up. See that right there. Yeah, you can just start. It'll be fine. If I see missing ones, I'll send more. I don't think you'll finish all of this tonight. I'll probably finish this part, but not the entire set. Like, I have 5 sets to go through. This is just one thing. But we're going to discuss each one. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And let me turn this off. I hear myself. I'll turn this off. All right, so we're good to go. So the year is, let's see, 23rd of July, year 10. This is from Hoseok. When I counted to 3, I heard the sound of laughter like a hallucination. The next moment, the young me passed by holding someone's hand. I looked back quickly, but there was no one there except my classmates staring at me. Hosoka? How do you say Hosoka? How do you do that last part? I know the ah is just like a sir thing at the end. Anyway, Hoseok, the teacher called my name. Only then did I realize where I was. It was a class field trip. I was counting fruits that were drawn in the textbook. 5, 6. I kept counting. But as I did, my voice trembled as my hands grew sweaty. The memory of that time kept surfacing. I couldn't clearly remember my mother's face that day. I only remembered the chocolate bar she gave me as we looked around the amusement park. Hoseok, count to 10 and then open your eyes. When I had finished counting and opened my eyes, my mother was gone. I waited and waited, but she never returned. I had only counted to 9. If I counted one more, it would have been fine, but my voice wouldn't come out. My ears were ringing, and my surroundings grew cloudy. The teacher kept pointing, telling me to keep counting. My friends were staring at me. I couldn't remember my mother's face. It seemed like if I counted one more, my mother would really never come back. For me. Just like that, I collapsed to the ground. Alright, let me turn this back on. Alright, so this is the scene. This is the scene where we see him covering his eyes in front of the carousel with his Snickers bar, right? Like, I'm getting that correct? Don't be sad, guys. We gotta get through this. Oh. I know that we gotta do it. Everybody went through it. I gotta go through it. So, y'all be here with me. Help me out. But this is obviously the scene where he leaves, right? Or she leaves, right? This adds a little context to it for me to kind of get into the thoughts of the scene, I guess. Good night, Karen. Have a good one. So it says, the teacher called my name, only did I realize where I was. Let me see. There was a part in it that really got my attention. And my ears were ringing. The teacher kept pointing, telling me to keep counting. My friends were staring at me. I remember my mother's face. Y'all bear with me. I'm gonna reread it just to make sure. Next moment, the young me passed by holding someone's hand. So it's almost like he's reliving it. It's a situation where he's reliving, right? So when I counted to 3, I heard the sound of laughter like a hallucination. This is the part where he's getting the cake. This is the part where he's getting a cake, right? The next moment, the young me passed by holding someone's hand, looked back quickly. There was no one there except my classmates staring at me. Or maybe it's after the scene. Is what is when I counted to 3. What is that? He was at a class field trip, but he remembered his mom leaving. Only then did I realize where I was. It was a class field trip. I was counting the fruits that were drawn in the textbook. Who takes a textbook to a field trip? Sorry. So, he's trying to count this fruit, and the kids are laughing at him because he keeps having flashbacks to that scene in front of the carousel. He passed out? Where did it say he passed out? Collapsed to the ground. So, because okay. So was he holding his breath? Is that why he passed out? It's kind of like hyperventilating, almost like a panic attack. So, move on. Anything else we need to discuss on that one? Counting is hard for him due to the memory. Yeah, I could draw that up. Oh. Okay. We'll go to the next one. So this is the 29th of December. Same year, year 10. This is Taehyung's entry. I entered the living room. Hang on. I entered the living room after taking my shoes and dropping my bag, and my dad was inside. I didn't think of how long it had been since I last saw him or where he had been. I just ran into his embrace. I can't recall clearly what happened afterward. Did I first smell the alcohol, hear him curse at me, or get slapped by him? I guess it means I didn't know what was actually happening. He reeked of alcohol, his breathing was rough, and he had foul breath. His eyes were bloodshot and his beard was unkempt. Then he used his big hand to hit me, asked me what I was looking at, and hit me again. Then he lifted me high up in the air. Although his bloodshot eyes were scary, I couldn't cry because I was too scared. Ooh. That was not my dad. No, he was, but he didn't feel like it. I kicked my leg into midair. In the next moment, my head hit the wall and I fell to the floor. I felt like my head was going to explode. My sight became blurry and gradually darkened, and all I could hear in my mind was my dad's breathing. You say he kicked? I kicked my leg in the midair? Always need to think twice because you can't give spoilers. Yes, just let me read. I'll ask questions. It says, I entered the living room after taking off my shoes. Where was he coming from is my first question. His dad was inside. We know his dad's got alcohol problems. Alright, we've deduced that from the videos. He ran into his embrace, so I'm guessing he's been gone for a while. Wanted to hug his dad hello. Couldn't tell you what happened because he didn't know if he smelled the alcohol first or his dad being mad at him or getting slapped. He didn't know. It was all a blur. It just happened so fast. I didn't know what was actually happening. He reeked of alcohol, his breath was rough, and he had foul breath. It's usually a sign you've been drinking. His eyes were bloodshot and his beard was unkempt, drinking for days. Then he used his big hand to hit me. I'm guessing because he was a kid. Asked me what I was looking at and hit me again. And he lifted me high up in the air. All those bloodshot eyes were scary. I couldn't cry because I was too scared. That was not my dad. That was a monster. Reference to what alcohol does to you. If you don't keep it under control, you can become something you're not. Kicked my leg in the midair, and the next moment my head hit the wall and fell to the floor. Felt like my head was going to explode. Sight became blurry, gradually dark, and all I could hear in my mind was my dad's breathing. That's gotta be creepy, dude. That's gotta be petrifying. It's nuts. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, don't cry. We can do something else if y'all want. Y'all want to do something else? I can just find something to do. Yay, nay. Is everybody crying and that's why no one's talking? What do y'all want to do? I'm not trying to make anybody sad. Continue? Y'all just want me to read it, like, to myself, and I'll just ask questions? I feel like, because these are all negatively connotated, so I'll keep reading. Okay. Alright, we're at Jimin. April 6th, year 11. A few months down the road. Dude, I walked out the entrance of the Arboretum alone. The weather was cloudy and a bit cold, but it still felt good. Though it was picnic day, my parents were still busy, so in the beginning I was a bit sad. But in the flower drawing competition, I received a compliment. My friend's mom said that I was dependable, and so from then, I thought I was a bit cooler. You ever get that feeling? Like, your buddy's parents were like, you're so well behaved, and it's just like, yeah, your mom likes me more. That's funny. I can relate to that. Okay. Jimin, wait here. The teacher will come soon. After the picnic, as we were to leave the Arboretum, the teacher warned me, but I did not wait. I was confident I could do it alone. I grabbed onto the straps of my backpack tightly with both hands and I walked purposefully. It felt like everyone was staring at me, so I straightened my shoulders more. This was a long time after the rain had started falling. My friends and their moms had already gone. There was nobody to look after me, and my legs hurt. I used my backpack to cover my head and I crouched down under a tree. The rain fell harder, and there were no people that walked past. In the end, I ended up running through the rain. I could not see a house or shop, and the place I arrived at was the back entrance of the Arboretum. The side gate was open, and I could see something like a storage space within it. So, in this instance it sounds like he got lost or separated from the group. The teacher, though. Jimin, wait here, the teacher will come soon. Who said that? I wonder who said that. Because it doesn't say, does it? I received a compliment. Friend's mom says dependable, and so from then I thought it was a bit cooler. Jimin, wait here, the teacher will come soon. After the picnic, as we were to leave the Arboretum, the teacher warned me, but I did not wait. I was confident I could do it alone. So because he thought he could do it alone, he ended up separated from the group. Did he end up getting left behind? What it sounds like? Poor kid, right? Yeah. Interesting. I'm not gonna dive too deep into him because I kind of want to do the analysis on my own for the video. We're just gonna ask some of the questions here. Think he got lost? I feel like he got lost. Like, because he didn't listen, he ended up getting separated from the group. And then didn't know what else to do because it was raining and its arboretums tend to be big. They can be smaller, but most arboretums I've been to are pretty big. So, and you can't get lost in them if they're the right kind. Let's see. We'll go ahead and do Yoongi. So Yoongi, 19th of September, year 16. Hold up. That's a huge jump. 11 to 16. 11 to 16, that's pretty big. Oh. Didn't wait and left on his own? Yeah. Alright, so Yoongi says, the red flames spiraled high. The house that I lived... Hang on. The house that I lived in until this morning was in a blaze. Those who recognized me raced towards me, screaming. The neighbors were frantic. There was no way to get in. The fire engine could not access it, they said. I stopped in my tracks. It was the end of summer. It was the beginning of autumn. The sky was blue and the air was dry. What was I supposed to feel? What was I supposed to do? I didn't know. And then, the thought, Mom. The next moment, with a crash, the house became rubble. The house was taken by the blaze. No, the house, the ceiling, the pillars, the walls. The room I had lived in had become the blaze itself, and like a house built of sand, it collapsed. I watched it, dumbstruck. Someone pushed me aside to hurry forward. They said the fire engine had got in. Another grabbed hold of me and spurred me to answer. That person stared me into the eyes and screamed something at me, but I couldn't hear anything. Is someone inside? I watched the person dumbly. Is your mom inside? The person grabbed a hold of my shoulders and shook me. I didn't know how I answered. No, nobody's inside. What do you mean? A mother from the neighborhood asked. What about your mom? Where did your mom go? Nobody's inside. The words I was saying, I didn't know either. Someone pushed me aside and hurried forward. Ooh, that's creepy. That's really creepy. It's a bit off. I mean, we'll sort it out after the fact. I still need to read these, though. So, also, it's theorized that year 10 or any year doesn't mean 2010, but the year Sakjin was 10, so you have to calculate each member's age based off Sakjin's age, sort of. So it's almost like the age is, or the year is the age that they are at the time. They put it chronological? Okay. I mean, that's good to know, you know, it'll, because I was wondering if it meant 2010 or not. I just didn't know, so that's good to know that. Oh. Something to research later, I guess. So basically, in this one, he's saying that no one was inside. The fire seems to have started in his room. It's almost like he set the fire to burn down the house. And when they were asking if no one was inside, he answered metaphorically, saying, yeah, no one's, like, there's nothing left inside of him. So it's like he knew what they were saying, but he was responding in a different manner. Fair enough. That's kind of creepy. So, he could be like a year younger. Yeah. We won't throw too much attention to like the year per se, but it helps with the alignment. You know what I mean? So, that's interesting, dude. That's the more interesting one I've read so far. So, Yoongi with a fire or lighter, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then a fire grows with the lighter the further he goes. It's almost like his hatred for the world grows as well. Because you notice he gets mad, like more mad in every video he gets in. Fair enough. That's a good deduction. Heck yeah, that was a good read. That was a good read. I liked that one. They're all good, but that one was like... Because I've been wondering about Yoongi and why he's been so mad this whole time. And I still don't know why. But at least we know the context of his anger. So, very cool. Alright, we're going to jump to Sakjin. 2nd of March, year 19. I followed my father into the principal's office. It had a damp smell. It had been 10 days since I had returned from America. I had to start a year lower because of the education system. It's different. I'm leaving him in your hands now, my father said. I flinched unintentionally when he put his hands on my shoulders. Ooh. That's not a good sign. School, in general, is a dangerous place. We need order and control, the principal said, staring dead into my eyes. Every time he spoke, the fat around his wrinkly cheeks and area around his mouth would shake. And the inside of his black lips was dark red. Don't you think so as well? I was hesitating at the abrupt question, and my father squeezed my shoulder harder. The strength caused shocks to go up and down the muscles of my neck. Ooh. That's a sign of fear from abuse. I trust that you'll do well. The principal persistently continues to make eye contact, and my father squeezes me tighter. He clenched his fist around my shoulders, to the point that my bones felt like they would shatter. My body was shaking and dripping with cold sweat. You have to tell me right now. You have to be a good student for your dad, the principal told me with a straight face. Yes. I squeezed out a response, and the pain disappeared. heard the laughter of my father and the principal. I couldn't raise my head. I could only see the brown shoes of my father and the principal's black shoes. I didn't know where the light was coming from, but it twinkled. I was scared of that twinkle. So it sounds like, because I could see that in my head as I was reading it. You got your father squeezing the crap out of your shoulder in the culture that they're in, where education is so important and control and structure are a main thing. Having an overbearing authority figure, not just one, but two. You've got two who don't understand what a kid is going through. They just understand the society they've grown into, as adults. And then we've got this younger generation that's also trying to be something better than the generation before them. It's like the struggle you guys keep telling me about how, kids in the school system were fighting back against like the intensity of the culture they were raised in. It's almost like an excerpt about what a student would go through in that time. And the fact that the parents are so like downtrodden on the fact that they want their grades to be great is it shines through in this. It's almost like that desire for their kids to do well academically is in and of itself abuse. Or at least it feels like abuse. That's gotta suck, dude. That's gotta suck. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be scared out of my mind if my dad put his hand on me like that as a kid. Even if it was just for like control. I said we need control. Where at the top, where is it at? School is in general is a dangerous place. We need order and control. Just then, like, you see the father put his hand on the shoulder after he gets asked a question by the principal, like, you better answer him, kind of thing. He's controlling him. And not in a good way. Not in a good way. I mean, is controlling somebody ever really good? But, like, it was forceful. The imagery of that's really good. So, Smeraldo Twitter active again. I'm scared. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Jin's context is my favorite, this because we barely know his character. I was about to say, because I didn't even know his dad was even related to, like, where does that come in? Because he hasn't been seen in any of the videos. Good question to analyze for later. It really would suck when who you have to look up to actually use authority and force you to do something. You'd be surprised. It happens more often than you think. And it happens a lot. I don't want to get political. I really don't like politics. I don't really talk about politics. But let's just use America in context of the government that runs America. We look to our government officials to manage the country and make it, as true to the Constitution and the Bill of Rights as it can be, in form of moving forward with the future, like equality and, fair trials and et cetera, et cetera. Like, we expect them to be the highest representation of what people want, and they don't always do it, and they abuse the power a lot, So, and the same can come from abusive parents. Like, as an outsider of an abusive family, so you're someone who was not raised in an abusive family, or you're a teacher or something, and you have a student and they're being abused, it's your job to report it. Like, when you think there's abusive stuff is being, like, the kids being abused at home. But unless you have the proof, like physical proof, there's nothing you can do to stop it. And if it's all mental abuse, then there's really nothing you can do to stop it. And that's a sad thing, man. That's a sad thing. So, it's more of, you better not in school and embarrass me. Yeah, I can grasp that. There are theories revolving his father that you'll probably get into much later. Okay, fair enough. And yes, it is very sad, Orion. My mom My mom used to tell me stories about some of the kids that she'd see, and she thought those things, and she didn't know what to do. And she'd come to me and ask, well, what do I do? I was like, well, it's legally your obligation to report such activity. Hey! Let me fix this real quick. Let me get this going. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Here, let's do it right. Let's do it right.
$50. Victoria Wilson, my army sister. I'm sending you love, prayers, and healing your way. Stay strong and well. We army strong. Army one. Yeah.
Thank you for your $50 donation, Min Kim. I appreciate you. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Victoria is going to be very, very happy with that one. All right, we got 2 people tied for first. Let me fix the name. If I can. There it goes. Good. Let's get you centered. Yeah, boy. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Kim. Let's see. What are we doing next? That was great. Thank you so much. So where are we at now? We're about halfway to 500. Quarter of the way there, guys. Quarter of the way there. Appreciate you. Who are you tied with? Let's see who you're tied with. $50 donation tied with Sahida. Yep. My top donos. VIPs. Alright, let's see what we got next. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Jungkook, my boy. Let's see what he says. Excuse me. Let me cut this. I got so much going on my computer, guys. I'm sorry. Alright. 28th of May, year 19. Same year. Right? Same year. Okay. Youngs, what do you dream about? The Youngs look back at me in response to my question. I have to write a paper about future hopes. I elaborated. Seokjin Hyung opened his mouth and said, I don't think I have a dream. If I have something I hope for, it's just to the extent of wanting to become a good person. He cut himself off, seeming embarrassed. Then Yoongi Hyung, who was at the piano, spoke in an airy voice. It's okay to not have a dream. I don't have one. I'm just going to become whatever. Everyone burst out at his words. They fit him well. Have you ever had some... Hey, we're going to take a stop on this one. Have you ever had someone said they don't, besides me, because I've said it, you don't have to know what you want to do. You just have to be happy doing it? Have you ever heard anybody say that? I've had people tell me that a lot. Like, look, it's okay if you don't have a plan, as long as you're okay in the position you're in, and you kind of know where you want to go. Like, what do you want to experiment with, you know? I think that's actually a really cool statement that he said. Like, that's actually, like, I would consider that awesome. I wouldn't have bust out laughing or whatever they did in here. I would have been like, dude, that's like, you know, if it had been a group of guys that I was in, I'd be like, look at the poet over here, you know, like I would have been like that. So, you know, very cool statement, very cool quote. It says, I'm going to become a superhero and save the world from bad guys. Oh man. Taehyung said this while standing on his chair to pose. He reached his arms towards the sky. Hoseok Young scolded him, telling him to get down before he got hurt, and Hoseok Young then added, I want to find my mom and live happily. Being happy is my dream. Oh! Young smiled as he spoke. Does that mean you're unhappy now? Jimin asked. Oh, that's such a good question. Hoseok Young replied, when I was in preschool, I wanted to be president, but I didn't have anything I wanted to be after that. Dude, okay. Let's talk about this for a minute. You remember when you were kids, right? You remember when you were kids, and one of the assignments in school was, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's a simple question. When we're kids, we have like simplistic answers like I want to be a firefighter, or I want to be a dinosaur, or whatever. You guys remember those questions? Because I remember those questions. I wanted to be an astronaut or a cowboy. Like, those were my answers, right? And I never had a backup plan because you're a kid. You're not thinking about it. And then when you get into high school, you start thinking about it because it's pushed on you. And I don't know about other countries, but like college is really pushed on high school students. So is the military, and it's more or less that has been the thing in the last few decades that has been the trend on how you get a better job or how you end up living your life after high school. If you don't do those things, you're not going to be in a good position. But there's so many other options like trade school and the dreamers who actually follow their dreams and succeed at them. It's almost like your dreams die with your childhood. And it's actually really frustrating. And there's a meme out there. I don't even know if it's a meme. I think John Lennon said it, where the assignment, like a teacher asked him to do the assignment of what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he said happy. The teacher said, I don't think you understand the meaning of the assignment, and he said, I don't think you understand the meaning of life. So that always struck a chord with me. But let's see, Little Human wanted to be a unicorn. You were a doctor? Oh, that's actually one I put it too. At some point or another, I've been asked that question multiple times in my life. When I was younger, I don't really remember what I would put because I didn't know, and I'm still quite unsure. And that's okay. Barbara, what's up? I wanted to be a stewardess, but I'm bad with languages, so that died. Now I'm 17 and totally lost. It's okay, you're still young. You're actually at the age that it's okay to not know. Like, when you graduate, I guarantee the speech, if you guys do commencement speeches, is going to have something about how they don't know what's going to happen in the future. It'll be like, none of us do. And then they'll talk about how it's okay. Because it's okay. You're expected to be in that state of transition to where it's okay to take risks. It's okay to make mistakes. And if you don't, you're one of the few who knows where they're going in life, then that's okay too. But I guarantee the majority of us are still lost. And we still don't know what's going to happen from the day to day. We're just making it, you know? No. Everything is open. We're not lost. We don't know where we're going. So, and that's okay. Very, very cool ending to that paragraph. So the next part says, only Nam Joon-hyung was left after that. After feeling everyone's eyes on him, he shrugged. I want to say something nice, but I don't really have a dream either. I just wish my part-time job paid more. Oh, I feel that so bad. I nodded and stared down at the paper in front of me. The paper was divided into spaces for students and spaces for parents. What did I want to become? I couldn't think of anything to write. And that's okay. If someone came up to you today and asked you, what are you doing with your life? What do you plan on doing with your life in the next 5 years? And how are you going to get there? Would any of you have an answer? What's up, Ellum? Would any of you have an answer to that question? Questions. Didn't have a dream before. When I was young, I only figured out what I wanted to do when I was in the university. Fair enough. Your answer now that I'm older is to be happy. It's a great answer. First or second grade, they asked me. I figured I could just give them an answer and they would be happy. Said I wanted to be a ballerina, and I got laughed at because I fell down a flight of stairs that day. People make mistakes. I wouldn't have an answer. I'm still figuring it out. And that's how I feel, Sophia. I have an idea of an answer, but nothing definite. Well, what's your idea? Because you can't have an answer without an idea. Does that make sense? Really cool. The world's so open and such a symbolic place. Like, you could do anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything could happen. No. Oh, all the times my neighbors have kept me up, they better not fucking complain tonight. Sorry for the ASMR. One more. My bad. That landed in my pocket. Yeah. So, you should play DD by RM. I can't play any music. I'll shut my stream down. We're trying to avoid that. Skittles. So that was an interesting paragraph. It's like none of them really know what they want to do. Almost like they're all confused or in a state of suspension. You want to go to grad school, start your career in music, and move to Seattle eventually. That's about where I'm at. No time frame though. And you don't have to have a time frame. It's a great thing about life. You never know what's going to happen. Alright, so we're going to Yoongi, year 19, 12th of June. What was Yoongi's last date? 19th of... So this is 3 years later. So... Alright, let's see. Alright, let me cut this echo off. I thoughtlessly ditched school, but truthfully, I didn't have anywhere to go. It was hot, I had no money, and I had nothing to do. It was Namjoon who said we should go to the beach. The other guy seemed excited, but I didn't particularly feel like it, nor did I dislike the idea. Do we have money? At my question, Namjoon made everyone shake out their pockets, a few coins, a few bills. So we can't go. The one who said we could just walk was probably Taehyung. Namjoon made a face begging them to reconsider, but they just chattered away laughing, pretending to roll around on the road before starting to walk. I wasn't in the mood to talk back, so I just fell behind. It was midday, so even the ginkgo trees couldn't provide shade, and the cars kicked up dust as they passed us on the sidewalkless road. Let's go there. It was Taehyung this time too, or was it Hoseok? I didn't care, so I didn't look carefully, but it would have been one of them. I had been walking along with my head down, kicking dirt. When I almost collided with someone, I lifted my head. Jimin was standing there as if frozen in place. The muscles in his face trembled as if he had seen something terrifying. He was staring at a sign that said Flowering Arboretum, 2.2 kilometers. Oh shit. I didn't want to walk. I heard Jungkook's voice. I guess Jungkook said, I didn't want to walk. Sweat dripped from Jimin's face. He went pale as if he might collapse at any second. What is it? I had a strange feeling. Park Jimin, I called. But as I expected, he didn't budge. I lifted my head again and looked at the sign. Hey, it's so hot. Why would we go to an arboretum? Let's go to the beach, I said as if dragging my feet. I didn't know what kind of place the arboretum was, but it did seem like we should go. Whatever the reason, Jimin's expression was strange. We don't even have money, Hoseok replied. That's why we're walking, and Taehyung added. If we just walk to the train station, we could probably make it, then Namjoon said. Instead, we'll just starve at dinner. Jungkook and Taehyung pretended to cry, and Seokjin laughed. Jimin only started to move again once it was decided that we would take the road toward the train station. Walking with his head down and his shoulders trembling, Jimin seemed like a small child. I looked up at the street sign again. Characters spelling flowering arboretum were gradually getting further away. Alright. See what you guys have to say. Yeah, I wish I could play music, guys. I'm sorry. I really do. If we were on Twitch, it'd be a different story. So, we cry for the boys. So, we're reliving the moment that Jimin had at the Arboretum. The sign brought flashbacks. And it's funny how, I say funny, it's interesting how we've had 2 flashbacks already. So there's a moment in the present and a moment in the past. It's almost like we can revisit the past in our head. Unfortunately, both those moments have been negative. So why are they wandering around? Is that a metaphor? It's a great song. It's a great song, but I gotta follow the rules. Well, let's see. They want to go to the beach. I saw that they want to go to the beach, but like, what are they doing? Like, why are they just hovering? You know, like, what were they? They were just hanging out. Is this like a carry on? Because this is way later from this moment right here. May to June. This might make more sense watching that video with all the dates. Hanging out? Yeah. Alright. Real quick. Oh, we're almost to the bottom. Okay. So, we've got, they did school? Why did they did school? Because of everything going on? Just the pressure from school? Yeah, Jimin's point of view was crazy. Y'all give me a sec to chew this one and I'll go to the next one. Alright. 30th of August, year 19. This is Jimin's entry. While Hoseok was answering a call, I played around by stepping on his shadow. Hoseok burst into laughter and said, Jimin has to grow up. It took 2 hours to walk home from school. If you took the bus, it was less than 30 minutes. It would be too little if you said it took 20 minutes. It always leads me through shortcuts, alleys, or even old bridges. We would stubbornly walk this route. It had been a year since I was discharged from the hospital and transferred schools. The school was far from home, and I didn't know anybody. I thought it was fine. I had transferred schools many times, and who knew when I would be admitted to the hospital again. I thought that this would be nothing much. At that time, I met Hoseok. It was just after the start of the new semester. He approached me and stayed with me for 2 hours. I only found out a long time later that our houses weren't even in the same direction. I didn't ask why he stayed with me. I was hoping in my heart that the 2 hours under the sun could be lengthened. After teasing Hoseok during his call and stepping on his shadow, I ran away. He hung up the call and chased after me. Under the heat of the sun, my ice cream melted. I heard the song of the cicadas. I found that I was suddenly scared. How long would these days last? Interesting. I have a couple questions, but I'm not sure if you guys can answer them without ruining something. So we know that they were in the hospital, right? There's been a couple instances where we've seen both of them in a hospital room or like a mental hospital. I wonder what got them there. Or what got them there. It's interesting how it says at the time he met Hoseok, after the new semester, he approached me and stayed with me for 2 hours. Only found out a long time later that our houses weren't even in the same direction. It's almost like Hoseok was looking for someone to be friends with, and Jimin was that person. And they would go through anything just to not have to be alone. I wonder how they got to the hospital. Yeah, y'all don't have to answer. Just say you'll find out. If it's something, I'll find out later. And why is he scared of the cicadas? Is it because, like, that meant the day was over? And he couldn't spend time with them anymore? Because he moved schools a lot. And to let Hoseok and the rest of the place, so he did. And I understand that part. But the cicadas, significant of a nighttime, usually mean the day is over with. And what you gotta do as a kid when the cicadas come out, it's usually time to go home, right? So, see you later, Nikolai. Good hanging out. Let's see. Interesting. How many more we got? Okay, we're on the last one of this section. Let me munch down one more time. The fear of the happiness ending. Yeah. I think it's more along the lines of what I was trying to get at. It's like when you're a kid and you're hanging out at your friend's house and your mom comes to pick you up and you're just like, you don't want to leave. So you do anything to make it last 5 more minutes. They're like, Mom, can we have 5 more minutes? And then they, like, this is how it worked with my mom. I would say, can I have 5 more minutes? Be like, okay. And then her and the parent would talk for like 20 minutes. And I would totally abuse that. And then we would, she'd call us over and say, okay, we gotta go. And then they'd start talking again, and I would slip away, and we go play again for another 10 minutes. Until finally it was just like, get in the car. So. It's just, you don't want it to end. You're having such a good time. And we've all had that moment where, like, life's so good, or a moment's so good, you just don't want it to end. And you kind of fear that moment, like, knowing things are about to change. It's almost like you're not ready for change, in a way. It's crazy. You're similar to something. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Alright, last but not least on this one. Seokjin, 25th of June, year 19. A lone flower pot rested on storage room's window. I didn't know where it came from. I'm gonna mess this name up. Y'all tell me how to pronounce this. Y'all tell me how to pronounce this word. Dongsang? Dongsang? Okay. Which of my Dongsang brought it? I took out my phone. The classroom was always dark with shadows, since there wasn't any electricity. But I could still distinguish green leaves from the pale light coming from the windows. The photo I took on my phone did come out good. And it wasn't because I simply took it with a phone. I pondered this often. How a photo never captures what eyes can. Ooh. Deep. I like that. Very good. Jin's such a poet, dude. I noticed with an H. I noticed an H written below the flower pot when I approached. When I lifted it up, I read Hoseok's flower pot. I laughed. Hoseok was the only Dongsun who, I feel like I'm butchering that word, Dongsun, who'd bring a flower pot here. I placed it back on the window sill, so only the H is visible again. I then looked around. I didn't notice this before, but the window sill was covered with scattered writing. The walls and ceilings were covered in it too. Pass or die, the names of unrequited love, dates, and countless names that had become worn and illegible. Wow, that's nuts. Pass or die, the names of unrequited love, dates, and countless names that had become worn or illegible. So I had been there for years in Hoseok's room. Is it Hoseok's room or is it Jin's room? Photo I took a phone. Noticed an H room below the flower pot when I approached. When I lifted it up, I read Hoseok's flower pot. Who would bring a flower pot here? Where is he? In his storage room. Lone flower pot in his storage room. So is this the storage room that we've seen so many times? Younger bro? Okay, that makes sense. It's the storage room they all met in at school. It's like a storage room at school and school hangout place. So basically it's like their sanctum, essentially. So oh, is that like the thing, the train car? You know where they open the train car, they're hanging out in the train car? Is that like a representation of what this is? Yeah? Okay. That makes sense. Okay. And they have different like references to what a sanctum can be in other videos, which is actually really cool. It's good context. But this one is at school, right? Yeah. So, in the school videos, did we ever see that in the videos? I know it's not the train car, but I'm saying as they shift, they have different areas where those sanctums actually come up. Have y'all noticed that? I'm trying to find the one for the school. What's the one for the school? Did we ever see that in a video? Is that like representative of a school where no, they showed up at the school and the bus was pretty much their sanctum. But at the same time the school was all like graffitied up on the inside, like almost like an empty room. I wonder if those have any relation. This classroom hadn't always been a storage room. It is the classroom. It's the classroom. It is the classroom. And you know, what was it? Danger? Where they... Wasn't Danger. The one where he pushes the girl in the locker. Boy in Love? Is it Boy in Love? And like the classroom was like full of chairs and stuff. That could be what they're talking about. Because they were all hanging out in the room. And it was like full of stuff. So, but if you think about Danger, it's almost like they destroyed that entire building. I wonder how those correlate. Okay. This classroom hadn't always been a storage room. Students used to filter it every day. It'd be filled when school began and empty during vacations. Were the students like us when they received punishments for being late and missing class? Were the mercilessly violent teachers and never-ending exams and coursework? Were there? mercilessly violent teachers and never-ending exams and coursework? Were there teachers who tell principals about their students and their friends? That actually happens, by the way. So, I know my mom, not saying my mom's a snitch or anything, but, you know, you gotta tell your boss about what's going on and why things aren't working out, and she's got some horror stories, so. Wondered whether my father's name lied among the words. School was my father's alma mater. He was someone who believed attending the same schools maintained a family's dignity. I read over the names and found my father's. It was in the middle of the left wall, surrounded by other names. A quote was written underneath it. Everything started here. That's creepy. That's creepy. That's nuts. What's up, Liv? Why you keep coming in at the end of everything? I'm just picking on you. I love you. So now my question is, what does that have anything to do with? It's metaphorical in the sense that it's happened in the past. But it's also very odd that it's happening now, because what's happened in the past relates to the now. And has been a direct effect to what's going on now. So everything started here. Everything started from here. The core of all theories about Seokjin's father. But if you think about it, this thing says Seokjin's father. Let's see. Where does Seokjin come from? So we're at the 25th of June 25th of June, year 19. All the way back to the beginning. Find Seokjin's entry. Where is it? Excuse me. 2nd of March, year 19. So that happened within months of each other. Wonder where my father's name lies. Among the word. I'm gonna have to read these multiple ways. I'm gonna have to do it all in chronological order, but I'm also gonna have to read them in individual orders. So like all of Seokjin's, all of J-Hope's in chronological order. Just so I can grasp both aspects. Gonna AFK, I'm gonna eat. Alright, no worries. Just read a whole bunch of notes. Well, white bread is reading notes. So it's interesting. Well, what does his father have to do with anything? We haven't seen him in anything. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I think... man, I don't even know. So Yoongi's story was the most crazy. Jimin's story was sad. I feel like they're all a representation of some kind of character trait. We didn't see anything from Namjoon. Y'all notice that? Didn't see a single thing. What's up, Iman? Going on? Haven't read the notes, so you're gonna have to watch back on this. We just went through the first part. Oh, I still got like 4 or 5 more sections. I'm not gonna do them tonight. We're just gonna run through this first one tonight. How's the first round? Interesting. Like, I have a lot of questions. A couple of them were really easy. Like Hoseok's story was really easy to pin. I'm kind of thinking it might get more in depth as we go. Yoongi's was nuts. And interested to see where that anger came from. Does it answer questions for Hoseok's? It kind of gave me a visual of what he was going through mentally, but it didn't tell me why or anything about the story, so I'm just gonna have to keep reading. I'm not gonna ask too many questions right now. You guys gotta remember, we gotta read the webtoon also, so I mean, like, a lot of it's gonna be explained in there. I feel like I'm where you guys were, at least with this first part. What does it all mean? Meanwhile, Big Hit's over there, and they're like,
confusion. Yes.
I don't know. Let's see, what else? Taehyung, very short segment. Very short segment. Well, he paints a picture of the abuse he's going through. We don't know why. I mean, we know it's from an alcoholic father. All right, we piece that together. He's been abused to the point of getting a concussion. We piece that together. And if we're going off the notes, that's all we would know. But we already know he has a sister. We already know what happened to him and his dad. And the phone call he made after the fact. We know those things, right? But this kind of adds a precursor so that we know, like, the extent. Like if it talked instead of roaring. I can have a picture of that as a voice of your intro. Well, if you backtrack on the intro of the stream tonight, I actually used it. Most of y'all showed up after the fact, so y'all didn't hear it. I did a grumble. Actually, kinda are. Shido, I'm sorry. We ran through the first part already. We're just kind of rebriefing what I read through. So, I appreciate you being here. I'm gonna be doing a daytime stream tomorrow, so you can catch that one. Let's see. Jimin, we pieced together Jimin's issue, but like, why did he not listen? Why did he run off? It says, Jimin, wait here. The teacher will come soon. I thought I could do it alone. How many of us have done that? You don't want help or you don't want to wait. Impatience is the better of you. You end up in a worse situation than what you started at. Yoongi's we've discussed. Jin is the more confusing one. Although we understand his situation really well. Doesn't make sense the ending. Jungkook's was just a moment they were hanging out. He didn't really write anything other than the fact that he's young and doesn't know where to go in life. But then we find out that none of them do. Which we can all relate to. Oh. Did I miss this one? No, okay, and this is Yoongi's other aspect. When they're walking, and Yoongi's story coincides with Jimin's story, and they're trying to find something to do. They want to go to the beach, but they don't have money. And then they see the sign for the Arboretum as they're walking, and Jimin goes pale white because he's having a flashback, and Yoongi's like, what the heck's going on here? But then they decide they could get to the train, and they more or less bypass a bad memory. Or an incident where they could have actually talked about it, but... You know, Big Hit. And then Jimin talking about he was in a hospital. I want to know why he was in a hospital. I'll probably find that out as we go further, though. Now, Hoseok was his only friend who was just as, like, alone as he was. So, Iman says it's Saturday anyway. Liv has to dog sit tomorrow. Iman, she's putting together a list of birthdays so that I can call out your birthdays on stream and post them on Twitter and stuff. That's how I keep track of them. She's just like my secretary. Let's see. And then we get back to the end where Seokjin's talking about how they ended up in this classroom that was a storage room, which reminded me a lot of the room from Boy in Love. And then he sees the writing on the wall with his father's name. It says everything started here, which has a double entendre if you think about it. Because it could be his dad's, you know, like, what do they call that? The legacy started here. Or it could be metaphorical to the story, saying that everything in the story started here. Or maybe the reason things ended up the way they ended up is because it started here. And it's funny because in this specific instance of education and the culture of the education system that goes on over there, it could be a shout out to the way the system is. Could also be a shout out to the ending of a system. Oh, very interesting. No, I definitely enjoyed that. That was good. I want to read the rest, but I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. Oh, very cool, you guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me and kind of helping me out on that. It'd be interesting to piece the story together with the videos, kind of make it one thing. So it's gonna be crazy. What am I doing on stream tomorrow? I'm gonna read the next part. I'm gonna do it during the day. So I only do it. Where's everybody from? You guys don't mind putting that in the chat just so I can kind of grasp what time I should do this tomorrow. I was thinking early afternoon, like 2 o'clock ish. So it's really gonna depend on the weather. We got a hurricane or tropical storm coming, so it'll be here tomorrow. You're fine, Min Kim. I'm glad you enjoyed hanging out and listening, and thank you so much for joining Patreon. Appreciate you. Might want to take a closer look at the last post I put up because things are going to be changing in the next month or so. Said, wow, that's amazing. It's really interesting. Did you read the 11 April notes or just the first one? So I read, what did we read? Year 10 through 19. That's what we read. And we're reading them in chronological order. So, from Brazil. New Jersey. Hey. Allie. Is that rain? Can't look. I think it's raining outside finally. Have to finish your summer school homework now, so have fun, guys. Thanks for stopping by, Iman. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. What time is it? It's 1:49. I'm gonna hang out for 20 minutes and then I'm gonna jump on Twitch for a little bit. Oh. But guys, thank you so much for helping me out with that. I can't wait to read tomorrow's, dude. It'll be great. Let's see what we read tomorrow. I'm gonna cut this screen piece off real quick. Okay, and I'm gonna move my ugly face back over here. Yeah, alright. Alright. Alright, let's see. We'll go back. Content. Oh, we could just click continue to the next part. Is it not over? Okay, so tomorrow's year 20. Honestly, don't know how long this goes. Let me go back. We're gonna go back. So there's 6 chapters. Year 10 through 19, year 20, year 21 and 22. Highlight reel narration. Talk gym. And then note theories. Okay. So we've got roughly 4 chapters left. 4 or 5 chapters. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know where I should stop and where I shouldn't stop. Should year 21 through 22 be the end of it, or because I've got them lined up, but where should I stop before I read the webtoon? That makes sense. 10 through 22. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, I'm gotta catch up on chat. I'll watch you tomorrow. What time do you start stream usually? Where are you from, Shido? Brazil. So you should be about an hour ahead of me or behind me. So it's currently 1:52 here. What time is it where you're at? When you get to April 11th, then go to the webtoon. Okay. Awesome people guide me. I just don't want to rush through it. Oh, I'm your very first Patreon. Dude, thank you so much, Min Kim. I appreciate it. Appreciate that so much. Slovakia. Such a cool name for a country, honestly. Cheeto says it's almost 4 a.m. So you're a little ahead of me. I'm thinking in Chile, not Brazil. Okay. It's 2, so it'll be 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Which is what? 1600? Or is it 1600? Yeah. It'll be about that for you. It'll be 2 p.m. for me. Yeah, my Patreon stuff is changing soon, you guys. That's what the last post was about, so make sure y'all read it carefully. Make sure y'all read it carefully. Genuine and respect that, plus love Army here. Oh, thank you so much. So does anyone have any questions thus far? I know some of you are reading it for the first time with me. Y'all have anything you want to say? How dare you say you're say ugly face, you're beautiful. Namju would be disappointed. It's just a joke. Now.
Chill out, okay? Fred knows he's a sexy beast.
Watch out though, because the Patreon stuff's changing soon. Read the last post. Haven't examined 30 minutes. Says what? I'm avoiding last minute studyings. So I'm here.
Get to studying.
After the webtoon, are you going to read the book? Because it shows more of their childhood and other new in this section. No. Wait, there's a book? What's going on? Like, I'm reading, what is it? I'm reading a complete BTS notes collection. That's where these are coming from, in chronological order. I haven't read the notes yet, but I have read their webtoon. I really appreciate you going over this. Oh, no problem. No problem. The Notes book part 1. That's what I'm reading, right? The book are the notes. He's already reading it, right? Yeah, that's what I'm reading. I'm reading the notes from a book. Anyone want to take pathology test for me? So the notes you're reading are the translated ones in the albums, but then they also released a book called The Notes, which include more notes that weren't in the album. Okay, so there's a ton of books on this page. Give me a second, let me readjust some stuff. I feel like I should have an page to go back on, but I don't. Weird. Ah. Alright, so what I see is you'll also like BTS Love Yourself, The Notes, English translation. BTS HYYH, The Notes English version. And that's all suggestions they have for some reason. Content. Map of the Soul, The Notes. There's a bunch of different books on here. Anyway. There are notes that come with albums. There's a notes book, but it's doing it chronological by year. Sounds like the notes are the ones in the albums. There's a link to all of them. I have the one link to what I'm reading. Purple. So let's double check that reference just in case. Gotta go, have fun, you guys. Hey, good luck on your test, dude. Should post the link you're looking at so they can see. I mean, if you want, make sure it's right. Oh, and I would probably actually be safe to do that. Just anybody who's hanging out. Shit. Work. Yeah, that way they can cross-reference. It would definitely help out. I trust everything that you're doing. I just want to make sure I get a... All help is welcome. Min Kim, you getting out of here? This old girl has to go to bed. It's 12 a.m. Love you all, my army family. Hope to catch up again. Hey, Min Kim, you have a good night. Thank you for your dono tonight. Victoria is really going to appreciate it. For anybody else who's hanging out or wants to help out, here's the link again if you guys want to donate. If not, it's totally cool. I'm going to hang out for about 5 more minutes. I'm going to jump off. Sleep well, Min Kim. Alright, let's take a look at something. Let's see if I can find these other channels that are helping out. Appreciate that tag on Twitter. Let's see, I know someone posted like 4 links or fine. Oh, I think this. Okay, so it says me, Regina Lorenzo, Gino Reacts, not a rapper. At Stochi, I don't know who that is, but those are people helping out. Also want to say thanks to all of you who retweeted. That's really cool, you guys. Appreciate y'all throwing out the feelers, helping out. Sorry for the ASMR. Liv gets to practice driving this weekend. They grow up so fast.
Watch out for us chipmunks, please.
Damn chair. I trust Purple too. It wasn't just Purple, it was a couple other people too. Maya, Auda, they all helped, so it's been very diligently worked on. It wasn't just slapped together. Worked on it for a couple weeks. I'm very proud of them. They've done a great job. But definitely interesting read tonight. I'm kind of interested to see what happened to Yoongi. Like, how dark was his story, dude? It was nuts. Yeah, you guys, I know most of you have my Twitter. If you don't, you can add me in most of my reactions. But that's a great way to get a hold of us. If we're missing something, just tag Purple in it. She's very tentative to that stuff, and she will take care of it. If she wants, I'm not forcing you to do anything, Purple, you know this. You let me know if I need to do it. Oh. And quick announcement, as most of you guys already know, let me find this announcement real quick. I commented on it today. And where's it is. So BTS has the best-selling album of 2020 in the United States, South Korea, Japan, and worldwide. congrats to the boys. That's a big accomplishment, especially coming from here. Oh. Very cool. I thought that was awesome. And I'm gonna be moving the new tiers up. I said October 1st in the post, but I'm gonna move it to September 1st. I'm really anxious to open up this Discord chat group so everybody can start enjoying it. Definitely gonna be worth it. Hopefully those of you who are Patreon people understand and enjoy. I think you guys are gonna like it. A couple of people in here can say what they think about it. A few people in here that have it. They deserve the universe and more. We don't deserve them, honestly. They're amazing. I think they're doing an amazing job, and the success that they have attained thus far is a testament to the work that they've put in. Doing an amazing job. Still collecting them for myself, and included Smeraldo. Oh, cool. So, alright guys, I'm gonna get out of here. It's been fun. Enjoyed hanging with you guys. Thank you for helping me out with everything. I will be back in the daytime tomorrow, 2 p.m. my time, Central Time. And we will go over the next segment of notes and see where we end up after that. Thank you for all who donated. Thank you for everyone who hung out and helped me out. Appreciate you guys. Y'all stay safe and y'all stay healthy. And I will check you guys later. Y'all have a wonderful evening. If you want, you can follow me on Twitch. Go find the link in one of my other reaction videos. They're everywhere. And I will see you guys later.